The Truth Girls.
Hey everyone, I'm in front of my mom's retirement home. They're moving her to the hospital. Not because she's really sick, but because she's a public health menace, because she's infected and she's marching up and down the hallways. Gunner's here. Gunner's here. He's full of nonsense as usual. Yeah, so we're just waiting here. The ambulance is going to come and take her out. But I'm grateful that I'll be able to actually see her like face to face for the first time in 6 weeks. I'm sure she'll be fine at the hospital. She's refused all care, so it's not like they're going to put her on a ventilator. And meanwhile, swallowing air, Gunner. It's like my mom is going to the hospital and you're still like, it's like he's a comedian, but in a way that it's like a disease. Nobody wants to hear you burping.
What? I can speak from my burps. Like those people who don't get proper medical treatment after they have a tracheotomy.
Oh no, he's gonna do it again. He can never stop.
What's his name?
Miguel.
Miguel.
Gunner can never stop making jokes. Is that my mom?
Huh.
There you are. Hi mom, it's me. Mommy. Mom. It's me, look. It's Sonia here. Hi. Look.
Open your eyes.
It's me.
Put your mask on.
Open wide.
Put your mask on.
Say hi to Sonia.
I want to see you come back. I'll be waiting for you.
Mommy, hi. Mommy, look, it's me. Over here. Hi, it's me, it's Sonia.
She sees you.
Hi, we came to say goodbye. You'll be okay. They're just gonna put you in quarantine so you don't make other people sick. You'll be fine. Yeah, we love you. You'll be all right. We love you. My mom's gone off. Gunner immediately wants food. He wants something from the deli. See, like it's open, but I think you have to stay out here on the curb. There's a sign over here. Well, they're open, but we couldn't get anything. He's still looking for food. Gunner, I want to go. Gunny! Every time I take him out, he just wants to go to restaurants. It's like the only way to get him out of the house is to be like, yeah, there's food on the other end. That was hard, actually. She looks really out of it, but I think that's because of her dementia. I don't think it's because of the COVID. Yeah, I talked to her on the phone before, and I mean, they have her on some medication to keep her calm, because the problem was like she just won't stay in her room. She's just wandering, and she's wandering into other people's rooms, and those people are more like fragile as far as their health goes, so she is a public health menace right now, because she's infected and she's going into people's rooms, and they're old, you know. So I understand why they have to move her. So they also like put her on a medication to like tranquilize her a bit, so she's a bit sedated. But when I talked to her on the phone, she was okay. She seemed like really out of it, spacey. But I mean, really, like 5 minutes before when I was on the phone with her, like 10-15 minutes, she was okay. She wasn't like that. I don't know why. Anyway, you know what? Honestly, after 6 weeks of not being able to see her, I was so glad just to be able to see her. Even, I don't want to see her going into an ambulance, but it's like at least I got to see her at all, you know? I'm hoping maybe just the fact that we were there reassured her a little bit also. I told her that, yeah, they have to take you somewhere, like put you in quarantine because you're gonna infect other people, and she was like, yeah, it's okay. Plus she had signed all these orders on her living will, like not to put her on a ventilator. Like this was before she even had dementia. She always said she didn't want any of that kind of stuff. So we know there's no way that they're gonna like put her on a ventilator that'll just, you know, destroy her lungs or whatever. I don't know what's gonna happen when she's up there. She's gonna be probably wandering around, but at least the other people are sick, so it's not like she can contaminate anyone. But I mean, who knows? What can you do? You just have to trust God. And I'm just so glad that I got to see her. I mean, it was like I just found out like minutes before that they were taking her to the hospital. I just found out, and I just got there just in time to talk to her one last time through the glass, and just in time to see her go. Hey everyone, it's me. I'm home. So hungry. It's been a long day, even though it's actually only been a few hours of the day. I'm just so gutted that I just can't stand that I can't be there for her during her journey. I have a lot of faith in God that whatever it is that happens to my mom, you know, in the end, that's up to God. And I feel like I've done everything that I could along the way of her journey in the last few years to be there for her, to let her know that she's loved and to make sure that she never feels alone, you know. And right now I can't do that. They took her to the Jewish hospital where they have a COVID ward. Actually, we were really relieved that they took her there because it's the Jewish English hospital downtown, as opposed to like sticking her some other part of town in some French hospital. That would have been confusing. At least she knows that hospital, like that's her normal hospital. And I was so glad that I was able to see her face to face, even just for a few seconds, even under those circumstances, because I haven't seen her in almost 2 months. But then when I came home, the sadness just hit me, you know, the sadness of just thinking that my mother is alone, that she's not that sick, right? But the thought that she's gonna be in a hospital like alone that's just the worst part. You know, that's horrible. Stupid lockdown. It never protected our seniors. It didn't protect my mom. All the seniors are gonna get it sooner or later, because this is gonna be around for a while, and it's gonna keep making the rounds until everybody's had it, and all the people who are susceptible. Some of them are gonna die, you know. It's not gonna go away. Like, I can really see clearly, like, the only purpose of the lockdown was to try to slow it down, but nothing is gonna stop it, because they never did their testing and contact tracing in the first place. Even now, my friend who works in the dementia ward at the Jewish, she says 28 out of her 40 patients have tested positive. They all got it from the staff. I mean, 28 out of the 40 patients on the ward. There's only 12 left. I think 5 of them died, and the rest were moved to the COVID ward. And still, that ward has not tested the staff, including my friend. So, like, what is this nonsense? They're not doing their jobs. This whole narrative about protecting the seniors, look at what's happening. This lockdown did not protect our seniors. And it still isn't protecting them. The place she's living in, like, it's full of COVID now. Full! And they were confined, like, in a small space, so they're like rebreathing each other's air all the time. I'm like so sad that I can't be with her, and I'm so mad at the same time about this lockdown business, and like, it didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work anywhere. Not a year where we did it like medium, you know? Not in the States where they were locked down completely. Not in Sweden where they did it even milder than here, you know? It just didn't work. This business about masks, people think that it comes through the saliva. It goes out the sides of your mask. It's in the air. You're breathing it. We're all breathing it. We're all gonna get it. We've got to stop being like chicken and staying in our houses. All of us who are relatively healthy, we have no choice. We have to take the chance to get it. We have to. So that we can become immune. So that eventually there's less chance that it will spread to the vulnerable. If we who are relatively healthy and young are chicken and don't want to risk getting infected, this is just going to keep going like this. There's never going to be any immunity, and it's just going to keep going and going. I just want to clarify that I'm not recommending that people defy the lockdown or the distancing itself. I'm just saying that as we're easing up the measures and people have the options of going back to work, back to school, that we need to get back out there bravely and do it. Otherwise, we're never going to get over this. And that, yes, we should be putting pressure on our governments to start to reopen and not pressuring them to keep us locked up because we're scared out of our minds. Anyway, it didn't work, and we're all suffering because of the lockdown. And for what? Our children are suffering. They're like in prison. For what? We lock our children up while they don't even test the staff in a hospital ward where 28 out of 40 patients have COVID. So for the last like almost 2 months, I have not been able to see my mother to protect her. And in the end, it was totally pointless. Because like no, they can't get it through their heads. Like asymptomatic people are contagious, and most people are asymptomatic, or a good part of them. It's like this whole thing's been like handled by idiots. I was separated from my mom. She wasn't able to see me or her grandson for the last like almost 2 months. For what? So that then it could come into her place anyway? And she could go to a hospital and be like, not know where she is and be completely alone anyway? They mismanaged the whole thing, and they're still mismanaging it. You know, if they had done it right and it was actually helping someone, I might be saying, well, hey, you know, like, it worked, so let's not complain. But it didn't work. Not in Quebec. Anyway, at least now our government is coming to their senses. Actually, the public and the media put so much pressure by exposing what they were doing that now they're like, okay, this isn't, we can't just keep everything locked down. Everybody knows that like this has failed completely. Like we might as well open things up, and so that we don't destroy the economy completely as well for nothing. So now things are shifting up here. I try to be strong with this whole situation. It's like, it's so insane, you know? It's so heartbreaking to be separated from people you love. And especially when they're not well and they're old. You just want to be there with them on the road to whatever is coming, you know? That's in God's hands. I just want to be there with her. I mean, as far as my mom goes, though, you know, she's Christian and she put her life in God's hands. I know her faith has been strong, and I think God's taking care of her and will take care of her. And if she doesn't make it, she's going to go to heaven. And then we'll see her there one day too. But I don't want her to be alone right now. I'm hoping that wherever they take her, they'll just kind of quarantine her for a couple weeks and she'll recover because she's tough. And then they're going to move her to another place. That should be better for her, where she won't be so cooped up. And then we'll be able to see each other again. You know. And then when her time comes, I'll be able to be there for her instead of it being like this. Whatever it is, you know, I'm going to have to pray about it. Ask God to, you know, give me more strength. And I appreciate you guys praying for us. You guys are amazing. I was telling my friends, like, I have an army of prayer warriors in my audience. This has been a really crazy, rough time, like, for you and for me, right? I'm hoping that by doing live chats, you know, it's a bit of connection for you also, like it is for me. I'm hoping it's also some connection for you, like, so you know, like, I care. Look at the other people in the audience, look, we can talk to each other, like, we're not alone, you know? Physically, yes, but you're not alone, you're not forgotten, you matter. You matter to me, and you matter to everyone else who's here. Like, we're in this together. I see your names come up, like, the people that I see in the chat often. I'm sorry I don't remember all your names because I'm getting old and my memory is it's not so fantastic. I'm not a walking encyclopedia anymore, but I see Bella and Rosie. When I see Kesha, I'm happy to see her. I'm happy to see you if you're there, Kesha. I'm happy to see you're there, which, you know, tells me you're okay. I'm happy to see Free Range Falcon, Les Déplorables. So many people, Armo Solas. Did I mention Bella already? I'm so old. So many people. There's Kim, Ruth. Oh man, like all of you. Like, I might not say all your names right now, but when I see you in the chat, I'm like, yay, they're here. You know, they're okay. Julie in New York. We have to just, you know, stay strong through this. I feel like this is war. Like, this thing was released, you know? Released or escaped, it doesn't really matter. It was made in a lab, like, for biological warfare purposes and it was released. Does it really matter if it was done on purpose or not? It's still an act of war in a way, you know? And then psychologically, this is like psychological warfare. Look, our media is confusing us. Like one day they're telling us, oh, look how many people are asymptomatic. And then it's like, look at these horrible things that COVID does to children. And now like young people are dying of stroke. So it's like you're getting pulled this way and that. Like, oh, look, it'll kill you. Like it's like lightning, it's deadly. And then, but hey, look at all these people. They're okay. You know? And like New York is like a war zone. California is like, oh, everybody's asymptomatic. We didn't even know we were sick. Like up here, you know? It's like you keep getting pulled one way or the other, you know. You'll never really figure out exactly what the truth is. And the whole like isolating and you can't see your friends and like it's like a psychological attack on us, like a psychological and emotional attack. I'm not saying that like our Quebec government like put us in our houses on purpose to psychologically attack us. Like I don't think it's like that localized, but the orders from higher up, it's like a psyop. Like they're doing something to us to like scare the crap out of us and then put us in prison and then make us so desperate to come out that we'll be like, yes, we'll take all your products, we'll take your vaccines, we'll take your chip, we'll register whatever you want us to do. Yes, give me the app, I'll let the government track me. Like that's fine, just let me out of the house. It's like to soften us up and soften us up until we're like, go ahead, big brother, do it to me, I'm okay with it, you know. That's what it feels like. And I don't want to be like that. I'll be like, you know, I don't want to get sick, right? I don't want to. I don't want my family to get sick. I don't want any of us to die. But it's really like a case of like we either choose to be brave and it's like a war, right? You know, you gotta go into battle. In this case, the battle is to be brave and to take the risk and be like, fine, it's in God's hands if I get sick or if somebody in my family gets sick or somebody doesn't make it. Because the alternative is like an enslavement. That's the way I see it. For me, it's like a war. Like some people are going to die. They're going to die either way. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like it's like a spiritual and psychological war on us. And I'm so done with like being afraid and like being afraid of what I might lose. I'm so done with it. Because if I have that attitude and everybody else has that attitude, we're all going to stay in prison and we're going to do whatever they say. And like people like Bill and Melinda Gates funding the WHO, you know, like running the show from behind like the puppet masters. They're going to be telling us what to do. And I can't live that way. Honestly. I don't want to get sick, but I would rather get sick and take the risk than be under the control of some rich puppet masters. Just can't live like that. So, you know, we can't be scared. I don't want to... I can't imagine, like, people being so psychologically pressured into holding themselves up in the house for so long and, like, doing how much damage to themselves just by doing that. Like, do you know what that does to your mind? And your children's minds? And like, it's not a solution. It's just, this whole thing is just wreaking havoc on people. So we have to be brave. We have to rely on our faith. Not like we're, you know, cavalier about it. Like, hey, you know, God's gonna spare me. I'm not gonna get sick. But it's like, whatever your will is for me, God. So your will be done. Your will, not Bill Gates' will. I'm not going to be scared into becoming a slave of some crazy system. Sorry, guys. It's like, when did people become so cowardly? Do you have any idea what people lived through in the past? We're so soft, like we've been pampered for so long that it's like, as soon as we're out of our comfort zone, you know? I saw the statistics from India that less people are dying per day now than they usually do. Like, with the virus and the lockdown, less people are dying. Why? Did you ever see how they live there? Did you ever see the train system? You ever watch movies from like foreign countries and see the kind of risks people take every day and like what they live with? Like, wow, we are so sheltered. So sheltered that now we're like afraid to catch some flu where you have like 1 in 1,000 chance of dying. That we would rather like be enslaved by our fear, be enslaved, than to just face that and just trust God. I'm not saying like people who are sick or have issues or old should come out, but the rest of us, you know, we need to like get our courage up. Because they can only work on us through fear. I'm not saying go do anything crazy, you know. I'm just saying, like, don't be scared. Because they can only get to you through your fear. If everybody's like, heck no, we're not going to, you know, take an implantable chip. Like, my Bible tells me pretty clearly what that chip is. You know, I know some pastors have different views on it, but you think I'm going to put something in my arm? No thanks. I'd rather die. Because at least I know where I'll be going. Anyway, just to say, it's a rough time, especially, you know, when it's affecting you directly. But don't lose your faith. And don't be a slave to fear. Like, you know, like the Bible says, be still and know that I am God. So we have to trust God. That's what I wanted to say. So anyhow, I've been talking here for a long time. I just want to say thanks for being there. I love you guys. We pray for you all the time, every day. Thanks for joining me in the chat. God bless you guys. Thanks for listening to me. I'll see you next time.